What's going on, Jeromes? It's the first of the month. Happy June, and today is the day. We may finally get some clarity what's going on with the Dalvin Cook situation as June 1st is here. And I know post June 1st, it's whatever, but today is the important day on the NFL calendar because it changes when dead cap hits impact some contracts, whether a player is released or if a player is traded. And Dalvin Cook, the Vikings have been non-committal all offseason. Dalvin stayed away from voluntary OTAs. Kwesi, Kevin O'Connell, besides saying that they want to do right by Dalvin, haven't really fully committed to him. And the Vikings running back room with Madison and Kincaid and Ty Chandler and drafting DeWayne McBride, they are set up to move on from Dalvin Cook. So we'll see what happens today. So there could be big news, there could be absolutely zero news, because the reason to wait until June 1st, because if they are going to trade Dalvin, and for all we know, Dalvin and could have a trade in place where Kwesi and Team XYZ could already have an agreement in place, and they're just waiting until June 1st to make it officially official, so that the Vikings could get some cap relief as a post June 1st trade, because you can't designate a player as a post June 1st trade, because if they're just going to cut him, they could just cut him at any point, designated him post June 1st, a la what happened with Kyle Rudolph a couple years ago, and then go on from there. So I think that I do believe the report from ESPN's JEROME Fowler that Dalvin is more likely to be traded than to be cut at this point. And then also, reportedly, there's a number of AFC East teams in the mix, whether it's Buffalo, whether it's Miami. There's some speculation about the Jets, but I don't know. Who really knows at this stage? But I do think that if the Vikings do move him, it'll be a trade, because cut doesn't really make a ton of sense at this point, because the Vikings are underneath the salary cap. They do have $11 million cap space, and if they want to work out a pay cut on Dalvin, they just have to wait. Because mandatory minicamp is coming up. We'll see if Dalvin shows up then, if he's still on the Vikings, or as you barrel towards the start of the season, working in a pay cut or a cut right before the start of the season, that's extreme leverage, and teams do that, and the business is the business. It kind of sucks for the players, but we'll see. And just looking at his contract right now, he's got a $10.4 million base this year. $2 million of it is already guaranteed. It does offset. So if another team signs him for up to and above $2 million, that would offset against what the Vikings owe him. He does have a $14.1 million cap hit. Now, if they traded him post June 1st, they would have $11 million in cap savings, because they would be able to spread out the dead cap over 2 seasons. So $3.1 million dead in 2023, $3.1 million dead in 2024. Now, if they cut him, again, the $2 million guarantee comes into play unless he signed up by another team, and then it would revert back to the Vikings. But $9 million in cap space, $5.1 million dead against the extra $2 million this year, and then $3.1 dead in 2024. So we'll see what happens today. And, there's a lot of speculation that maybe the Vikings were waiting until June 1st to trade Dalvin for a late-round draft pick, get that, clear up the cap space, as well as get that post-June 1st cap relief, and then announce an extension with Justin Jefferson. It could happen. And, we talked about how the undisclosed location is undefeated, and that would be a pretty major story coming on up. But your thoughts are our thoughts. Today, June 1st, major day for the future of Dalvin Cook in purple. Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Once worth the work, put a little something in the Venmo. But to next time, Skull Production Value.